What is up, ACL Nation? Welcome into episode 20 of Baggin Braggin, fresh off of a shootout in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, where Chris Kingsbury took down the singles. We're going to have him on today for our interview. Meesh was feeling a little bit under the weather, so we'll check up on her and make sure she's feeling good now. But we're not done yet, guys. Go straight into Erie, Pennsylvania. National number 2 is right around the corner. We got highlights from Open number 12, Tiverton, which was a week and a half ago or 2 weeks before that. I don't know. Calendar's getting pretty jumbled, Meesh, but I'm happy to be here. Welcome back. Sorry we didn't have an episode last week, but how are you feeling, Meesh? You better?
Much better, but that was like a doozy. Like, I couldn't get rid of the freaking mucus in my head. I felt like my head was going to explode.
Yeah, that's what
Like,
Miami will do to you.
Miami did this to
I
me.
blame
I
Miami.
told I told my friend, I'm like, I just literally want someone to like put a hole in my head and just drain it because it was
You got to get
so
one of those like
annoying.
melting pots, or whatever. Are they?
I
Is that what
did
they're
a
called?
neti pot, a neti pot. I
Neti,
used my
neti,
neti pot. I couldn't
and no
freaking
dice,
move
huh?
this. No, it was not happening. It was
Oh
not
man.
happening. And it wasn't like I was like unsatisfied. Nothing would come. Like I was blowing my nose. Like nothing was
Hmm.
coming out. It was just all stuck. My head was pounding all the time, and I was just like full of mucus. And I was like, "This is miserable." And I told Trey on Thursday because it started Monday, so I was like, "Okay, by Thursday for Fort Worth, I'll be fine." So Thursday morning, I wake up, but you wake up, and because you've been laying down, it's always the
Hmm.
worst.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I messaged because I had to leave in 3 hours for my flight, and I text Trey. I'm like, so I still like got symptoms, but I think I can push through. He's like, please don't, please
Not
don't
worth
come.
it. I
I
feel
don't want
like
you getting anybody sick.
I was getting a little nervous there in the last day too because I'm sitting there laying in bed. So I tried to qualify for the pros and Joes thing. We'll get into that in a second. But I didn't qualify for it, so I had nothing to do Saturday. So I laid in bed the entire day Saturday. I watched like 4 movies.
That sounds
And
glorious though, with your crazy schedule.
it wasn't bad, but at the same time, it was like kind of depressing and just like it started making me almost mentally think I'm sick. So then I started believing I was sick. You know what I mean?
It's what you do when you're sick. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just like, okay, well, maybe I don't feel well. Like Danielle, Luna, and Maya Cup are still out there for a day. They were like, "You want to come hang out with us?" And I'm like, uh, no, I don't feel good all of a sudden. So I was just like trying to like, okay, am I just bored or am I actually getting sick? But luckily, by the time I woke up for the airport the next morning, I was feeling pretty good. But
You're tired. Like I have to tell
yeah.
you, as much as I'm sad that I missed Fort Worth, so I laid in bed from Monday night all the way through till probably till Saturday. I was just in bed. I hardly ever left bed, and I feel like so ready for like to travel again. Like that was like so needed for me to just do nothing. And I always tell myself when I get back, like try to do as little as possible throughout the week because you have all
Hmm.
this travel, and I don't feel like I'm doing all that much, but that compared to just laying in bed and watching shows, like, oh, it was like a full reset for me.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's kind of weird now because the vacations or the road trips are becoming the organized part of my life. We talked a little bit before we got on here about how nothing is working right now. I mean, they shut off my internet for who knows what reason, but only the Wi-Fi part. My microphone here that isn't working, so I had to piece together bits and pieces
Wait,
from
I
other
heard that
computers.
though. When you
You
just
heard
hit that
this?
microphone. Yes.
I don't know. I can't get the meter to move at all, so I was worried it wouldn't work. And then the other camera wasn't set up. But yeah, just it's kind of interesting that just going away, how organized and everything's become. Obviously, not Dallas. That's kind of what
Yeah.
I'm gonna touch base in the bragging segment. But everything on the road now is like the easy part of my life. Like coming back home and having to deal with organizing bills and dealing with groceries, which is something that's weird to think is a problem. But yeah, I got so many groceries in the fridge that I'm just like, oh man, I haven't been home in 3 weeks. They're starting to get kind of nasty, moldy, and stuff. So
Ew.
yeah, just the normal day-to-day life is weird to me now. But I guess we can kind of segue into the bragging segment because I do want to brag on the ACL crew. I mean, we always come together. We always find a way, and it was kind of cool with having a lot of the equipment up in Tiverton, and then going down to Dallas, taking bits and pieces from every single live feed court. And I want to apologize to Corey in advance because I didn't bind up one of his wires when I got done using them. So I know he's gonna
Unbelievable.
think something's weird about that. But yeah, we found a way to make everything work, and actually I think it went pretty well. But it was okay. I mean, we got through it all. I think everyone had for the most part, pretty good time. I looked around the room, and it's like there's people bobbing their head and getting into it. So I'm like, okay,
That's success. Okay,
I'm
good.
starting to get in the point now where it's like I'm playing one song with another one, and I don't know what song it was, Mish, but I hit that transition so clean.
Oh, you're
Like
like, did you catch that? Did you catch that, everybody?
it was so good where it was like doof, 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 and then I changed the song and it was still like doof, 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 doof. I double took. I was like, did I? Oh, I did it. All right, yeah.
Did
So like,
that
yeah,
just
I
happen?
accidentally picked a perfect song to mix into it, and I even did a little scratching whenever I remember Bernie was like K9 DJ K9 on the mix, but
Oh my god,
yeah, we
that's
got
funny.
through it, man. So shout out to the ACL crew. And then as usual, always bragging on the kiddo. I went home last weekend, and her and I decided to go car shopping.
That's
So
right.
we got her a car for her 16th birthday, which was in January. So better late than never, but we were able
I'll
to
take
pick
a
out a
car
car.
6 months later, that's fine with me.
Yeah, so she got into it. She's happy with it. I gave her 7 different options, and I explained to her. I said, "All right, whatever car you buy, you're going to have to pay me for this car." Now, granted, I'm giving her money as an allowance and a teaching lesson as far as how to save and become a millionaire by the time she's my age. Because if you start investing in a compound interest account at 16, you'll be
Yes,
way ahead of me starting here at 40. So
correct.
I told her, I said, "Okay, you get the white car. It's $150 a month as opposed to this black car, which be paid off, and you'd only pay me $50 a month." And everything that she pays me is going into her retirement savings account. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then she caught on. She's smart. She said, "Well, if I buy the white card, doesn't that put me $150 closer towards the retirement plan that I want?" And I was like,
Uh-oh, she's like, "Wait a second."
Yeah, that's kind of backfired a little bit, but at the same time, I'm proud of her for understanding because that's the whole reason we're doing it this way is me paying her and then her choosing which route she wants to go. So
Yeah,
she understood the investing part of it, which is huge for me. So bragging
that's
on the kiddo
important.
for that. Yeah.
My grandparents did that. So I bought my first car at 16 as well. And I paid them what I can't remember what I paid them back then, but I paid them every month for the car. And then I think they did end up putting that money somewhere. I can't remember now, but I paid it off early because I had a job. So I was like, all
Yeah.
right, I'm just going to pay it off. And oh, no, actually, I'm leaving out a key part of the story where my boyfriend at the time took the car and it got not totaled, but it was not very redeemable after that.
Hmm.
so,
So insurance
so
paid it off.
um no, no, I don't think we even went through the insurance. I think we were just like, I think we got to call this one a loss type of thing. I can't remember the details. There was it was a bad situation. My parents were out of town.
Oh
It was a
man.
bad situation on us.
Bueller. Bueller.
Yes. Oh, and I had a gold Saturn. It was a horribly ugly grandma car that I hated, but it was the one that my parents were like, "Well, we can get you, well, not we can get you. We can find you this car that you could buy." They didn't put
Right.
money towards it. But so I bought this car that I hated. So I was kind of just like, whatever happens. But I drove it like with like a motorcycle light jimmied up to the back corner for a long time just to make it work and then like tape and stuff. So yeah, I made it work.
Again, the ACL crew always makes it work, even before we know what we're
I
doing.
just bragging on making it work.
Yeah. But no, they got their regional softball tournament today, but I think it's gonna get rained out, so that's good. Buys me an extra day. She
Hmm,
went 4 for 4, and their team had a nice comeback win. So
very
softball's
cool.
going very well. I got to see her play, and I think I talked to you before about being worried about how she's only slap hitting. Like she was actually hitting with power, hitting some line drives this last time. So give her 2 more years of this batting left-handed thing. I think she'll be college ready. So I'm happy with that.
That's awesome. And I was talking
Yeah,
about how boring baseball is when your son's 8.
yeah. Don't call it baseball. She hates that. My mom always calls it baseball, and she's like, "It's softball." She gets really
Well,
mad
I
at her.
mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
either one is boring to watch when they're little because the kids are pitching to each other, but they can't really pitch yet. So
Hmm.
it's just a bunch
Just
of
chaos.
balls. It's chaos, but then sometimes they swing even though it's like not even close to being like it's way up here or way down here, but they're still swinging. And then so those counts as strikes, but then there's balls, so there's strikes, balls. So they have
Yeah,
like
you're
6 pitches.
you're
Then the
watching
coach
the
has
wrong
to come in.
side. You're watching the wrong side of the fence. You're supposed to watch the parents behind the fence get angry at their kids out there on the field.
It's not
That's
happening. It's not
that's the
happening, at least on
best
our
part.
side. The
What? Dude,
only
that's the best. Like, why are you swinging at that? It's above your head. Like, that's
I
so great.
I feel like this generation, like, we kinda tiptoe around things a little bit more, right?
Yeah,
Like, I hear,
cautious.
like, the mom go, like, "Don't reach out if you don't have to," like, really, like, pleasant,
Yeah.
like,
Oh, no. No,
just like
my dad would tear my ass up.
yeah, I don't think that happens anymore. Like, you have to think about how much the generations have changed. Like, everyone's worried about like hurting their kids' feelings and stuff. Like, even with Rome, he struck out, and he just walks back to the dugout, like whatever. But like other kids, they struck out, they cry, they fall apart, and so I'm like, that's why I don't intervene because I'm like, I like the way he's handling it. He just
Mhm.
struck out, and he's like, it happens, right? And it's not like in a I don't care kind of way. It's just like, what are you gonna do? Like, it's done. Like, I
Right.
can't do anything about it now. And he's always trying. There's one kid on the team that every time they pitch, he backs out. Like,
He's scared to get hit
he's
by it. There's always that. Yeah.
yes. And they're like, "Hey, buddy, don't step away from the ball."
No.
He's
I,
like,
w-
does not want to get hit.
I would never forget. We would literally go out there and like hold the feet down with the kids. We're like, all right, don't move. We take away the bat. Be like, all right, practice swinging. I'm gonna hold your feet down. This is where you want to stay. Like, we would yell at the kids as we were coaching. Nowadays, you can't do that.
Yeah, I think things have changed quite a bit. So it's interesting. But I did hear some parents on the other side, the other team, like when their kids would pitch, because pitching's so hard at this age. It's the first time they're doing it. So it's all over the place, and they're throwing four balls and they're feeling defeated. And I can see the parents getting a little bit or this one kid swings and spins. Don't,
Yeah.
hey, Lincoln, stop spinning.
Why you calling
Just
Lincoln out like that?
oh, and then they hit the ball. One of our guys hit the ball and over like in between first and second, and none of the players were awake. Like they were all just daydreaming.
I love it.
It
I
went
love
past
little
like
league.
four kids, and they're just like, "Wait, what's going on?"
Well, speaking of yelling at your teammates to do better, did you hear that we're gonna be teammates, announcers? Little battle that we're gonna have.
No.
Yeah, so me and you are gonna be squared up. We're gonna be partners. It's going to be Anthony and Bernie, Trey and Jeff, and me and you. We're gonna have a little announcers battle here at the
When is this
National
happening?
this weekend.
Why doesn't anybody tell me these things?
You had to be there, I guess, because
Because
Trey
I mean,
is
I'm
locked
thrilled. We
in.
throw the same bag, so that's
Yeah,
great for us.
yeah. Trey is getting the bug again, and Anthony, of course, is always good. Somebody said that Bernie was throwing in Miami.
Yeah, but
I
he said
missed
he'd
that.
never throw again. So did he commit to
He,
this?
he agreed to it. So that's what
Yes,
I
let's
said. I said
go.
I said there's no way Bernie's gonna agree. I said no, he's down. So yeah, so we're gonna have a
He
little
has to,
battle.
otherwise it'd be odd numbers. So he doesn't
Yeah,
have a choice.
round
Oh,
robin. Here
that's
we
so
go.
exciting.
Yeah,
Yay. Let's go, Wally. You're going to play with me and Nick this year. I mean, what a win for you.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
All
Unfortunately, you
right.
both have to play with me.
No, I'm excited to play with you. And as like I said, we throw the same bag. So that's a great fit for us. I, however, am not traveling with bag, but I'm sure we can borrow someone's.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, we're going to take a quick break and we'll come back with our interview right after this. We are back with Chris Kingsbury. He just had his huge win in the shootout over in Fort Worth. Congratulations. I was just saying before we started, I just can't wait to get to know you because I don't know much about you. I haven't actually met you officially. So thanks so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. He is out of Florida. And I think we keep saying over here at the ACL, there is something in the water in Florida. Do you feel like being in Florida has helped you progress quickly because of the talent there?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, even when I haven't been playing that long, but when I first started, you were already playing against, Cheyenne, Kyle. I mean, I don't even win a lot of the regional singles around here because I got to go against Kyle. I mean, Kyle and Alex win most of them, so it's just like, and you got Fisher. I mean, there's just the talent is just unbelievable. So I mean, I feel like playing against them all the time definitely made me a lot better.
Yeah,
Can
you
you
hear it
tell
all
us
the
a little
time
bit?
about. Sorry, Mitch. You hear it all the time about if you want to be better, you got to play better. Play against better
Yep.
people. That's the only way to do it. You can't dodge competition. You can't stick in the intermediate division for too long.
Yeah.
Right. I was just going to say, can you tell us how you started, Chris, into cornhole and all that? Your story, their origin story?
I was actually just watching it during COVID, and I saw it on ESPN for the first time. And I had played a couple of times, like in some like beer like Olympic games, And I had noticed, I was like, I felt like I was pretty good, or like, I was always doing better than anybody else, but, I never really played a whole lot. So once I saw it on TV, I was like, okay, let me order a set of bags and boards, and and then I went to a local blind draw. I started figuring out how far the distance was, and I was like, all right, this is a lot farther than I thought, but, my throw was already pretty naturally flat. So, I had a good starting, process, and then I just, slowly started getting better.
Natural cornhole talent. I haven't heard a lot of that. A lot of people suck when they start.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I mean, I don't know.
Tyler Amos is another one of my guys. Just pick up a bag, started throwing a flat bag, and now he's one of the best in the country too. But your throw kind of changed a little bit from beer pong, man. Talk about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, like playing a bunch of little side games, I've always been pretty good at like the random things. But yeah, beer pong, right out of like high school, I guess, you start playing. And just like cornhole, I was like, man, I'm pretty good at this game. I don't know why, but I'm winning a lot. Everyone's always like saying how good I am. And I'm like, all right, and then like I ended up buying a table, just looking for a table so I could play with my friends. And I saw they had a whole World Series for it. And I was like, all right, this seems pretty interesting. So I just started going to the leagues. And then next thing you know, like first World Series I went to, I got like second place in the World Series. It was pretty nice. And I was playing for like a long time. And then during COVID, it kind of like killed it. But
we're gonna lose him to like professional tag or drone flying or something like that. He just watches something on TV. He sees like, yeah, that's probably not that hard. Let me try it, and then all of a sudden he's a beast at it. So
yeah, but he's joining T-Nuts as the fellow beer pong professional beer or whatever level. I don't know, professional, whatever level you play at for beer pong. But she's another one. But yeah, don't go to the Ocho. We'll lose you to one of those. I don't know which one, but it's pretty crazy the sports that they have. Do you see the one where they were like they have to like go up like slippery steps? I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, I think it's called slippery steps. I think we had that last year at Worlds. Yeah.
One where they like the little rolling ball down the hill, and it's like a huge slope, and everyone just ends up falling down.
Oh, cheese chasing or whatever they call it.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, don't do that one, man. That one will get you hurt. That one will get you hurt real quick.
Oh, that's so crazy. So Chris, you obviously were just talking about how much we have to travel with this career, this job. Talk to us about the support system you have and how you're making all this work.
Yes, I mean, honestly, this is my first year doing it, so I wasn't too sure. Last year, I just went to like a couple opens here and there, but having to go to these nationals and then going to all events now, I mean, Ultra definitely is helping me a lot. I got Big Chiefs, Bag Life, even though they ended up leaving the ACL, they helped me out a lot. I got a new sponsor called Dezo, East Coast Speechwraggers. And honestly, my girlfriend Alex, she's there supporting me a lot. She's honestly helping me book my flights and stuff like that a bunch. So everybody kind of just like, helps contribute. But honestly, going to all the tournaments does cost a lot of money, and it's, you definitely got to try to budget it, figure out which way best to drive, fly. It's a lot, but doing the best.
It's working for you.
Yeah, when you first started though, is this what you visioned? I mean, obviously you felt like you were pretty good at it. You came on the scene last year for me whenever you were taking on Matt Guy, I think in Winter Haven, and I believe you beat him there. So at that point, how long were you throwing up to that point, and then how far did you think it could take you?
I honestly haven't. I was only throwing probably less than I probably throwing like for real probably less than a year, but I had started like, going to my first blind draw ever probably like a year and a half before that. And I mean, honestly, no, I didn't think I was going to get to this level that fast. When I started playing, I thought, okay, I could maybe be a pro. Like, I was like, all right, if I could just become like, get to the pro level, that would be pretty solid. And then as I kept going, I was playing, I lived in Orlando at the time. So I was going to a lot of these Daytona tournaments, and Cheyenne was there all the time. So I was going against Cheyenne, basically towards the end of the tournament and seeing her play all the time. And then just getting to see other players in Florida. And once I started going to the regionals and seeing how they played the game, and then like seeing Fisher and how he played the game and how he rolls and how they can get around. Because at first I was just, I could throw it straight in and I could just slide it in. I was pretty good at, I was, really good at that. But that was all I had. I was like, all right, just slide everything in. Then, once you start playing the better plays, you got to start figuring out a whole different strategy. So
did you start in intermediate or comp or anything like that, or you just hop right in with the big fish?
My first tournament was a state tournament, and I was going to the Cheyenne, so I knew Cheyenne's husband, Brandon, And then so I was he wanted me to play a crew cup in the advanced division. And I was going to, and then he was like, you know what, man, this is your first time playing in one of these. He was like, if I was you, I'd play competitive first, because they're gonna, once you come up here, you can't go back down. So I was like, all right, whatever. I played competitive. I like swept everything. I got like 3 rings from like winning all the competitives, and they moved me up immediately. But and then as soon as I got moved up, I mean, I started going to regionals, and I was winning those too. So it was a pretty quick rise.
That's so crazy. Like, what's your history with sports and athleticism?
So I played sports my whole life. I played every sport basically you can think of, probably, and I was like pretty good at everything, but I just wasn't like super great at one. And I never like stuck to one the whole season. I would do soccer when it was soccer season, baseball when it was baseball, football, and in high school, I even started playing like golf and all kinds of stuff. So I was like, I'm just like, I feel like I'm good at everything, but I just never could find like the one thing where I was like, all right, this is what I'm like really, really good at,
I cannot relate.
I was gonna say, Meesh, does this make you feel better or worse?
No.
Like, where we're at, like, no matter how hard we practice, we're just not gonna have the natural ability.
No.
I'll go to like play darts, and I'll be like, I don't really play or something, and I'll be like, oh, I'm trying, and then I'll like just win, and people are like, this is insane, this is dumb.
How are you at skee ball? Mish wants to know.
Oh, I'm pretty good at skee ball.
I mean, what's wait? How do you play it? What's that one again?
That's a great start.
I'm probably good.
He's like, I'll probably beat you.
Kingsbury versus Meesh at skee ball next time we see him. We'll see how long it takes happening. That game too.
Oh my goodness. I mean, yeah, that's crazy. So that brings up a good point though. So now that you've played against all these people, I mean, someone like Cheyenne, who's so elite, she hasn't played sports prior to this. So what do you think about what gets you to the top? Like how far can raw natural talent get you, do you think?
I mean, I think for her it works out great, because like for her, I mean, I'm pretty sure she's been playing for like, I think last time I talked to her, she said like 6 years or something like that. And she was like, I think she's only like 19, I'm not sure. But so she's basically playing for 6 years. And those kids, I don't know why, but when they play as kids, I feel like they can just concentrate better. I don't know if they just have more time or what it is, but I
just don't think they know any better. They don't care.
Yeah. And they don't I don't think they're thinking much in their head maybe, but they just kind of just like lock in, and they figure it out really quick. So I think maybe she had that. And then obviously now she's just, it's great for me. It's crazy to see her play, because like she'll be just sitting there like in the sideline. I won't be playing for much, and then they'll be like, "Oh, you're up," and then she'll just like get up, come up, just like never miss a bag, go sit back down. Just like
just doing her job.
I gotta like be playing nonstop. It's just like her game and my game is like completely different. I feel like, even though we have the same strategies, but like while we're playing or whatever, but it's just insane, because it helps you when you watch them. You see what it kind of takes, because like her mental game and like how even like Kyle, Alex, all them, just seeing how strong mentally they are, and like what it takes to like just like little things to kind of get over the hump, I think.
Yeah, I'd love to get more into that going into your first broadcast. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll come back with more right after this. So, Chris, you were just bringing up that mental game aspect. You had your very first ESPN broadcast. So tell me how you were feeling going into that and what you did to get that win.
Oh, man. I mean, it was pretty nerve-wracking. I'm not going to lie. Like, what sucks is, like, they do singles at 9 a.m. It ended maybe at noon or something like that, 1 o'clock, and then the broadcast is at 6:30. So I even had to play doubles. And when I was playing doubles, it was hard not even to think about, okay, I'm playing singles here. How am I going to get prepared in the right spot while I was playing doubles too? And I was like, you just got to try to stay focused. But then after it was done, I had 4 hours until I even had to we had to start. So I was like, all right, I ended up going to Mead Fisher, went to Taco Bell.
That was brave.
I was going to say that could have backfired on you.
We came back, and then, I just was like waiting around, trying to not throw too much, but a little bit. But then it was hard not to think about the fact that you're about to be on ESPN, basically. And it was like, I've watched ESPN my whole entire life. So it was like, I was trying, your phone's blowing up too. That was another thing. I was like, don't look at it. But then I had so much time, I ended up, looking at it. So, but, it was all just support and stuff like that. But then when you're actually on there, you're trying not to think about it. But you could tell my first couple rounds, I was, just a little bit off. And I wasn't feeling like, oh God, I'm like my whole body's shaking or anything. I felt pretty solid, but when I was throwing, obviously I don't know, it just wasn't going where I was planning to. But then once I settled in, I kind of locked in. I felt a lot better.
Yeah, from where I was sitting, I was up behind the DJ booth, so I was trying to like watch the match a little bit, but I couldn't see everything. And I'm like, the first few rounds, I'm like, man, Chris is probably getting the doors blown off him right now. And I look at the score and I'm like, oh, he's still in it. And then like the last 5 rounds, man, you turned it up a notch. You kicked it into second gear. But I think one of the biggest obstacles that anybody can come across in this cornhole game is coming face to face with Cody Henderson. Like, what did you do to block him out? Because I didn't hear what he was saying, but it looked like his mouth was moving the entire time.
No, he definitely was, and it was funny because I had just met him before. I never met him before, at all. So when he came up to me, he was like, "Man, I really wish I was playing somebody I hated because I really don't like playing people I like." And I was like, yeah, I don't know, man. Okay, good luck. and then I was watching him his game versus Logan and Justin in doubles, and I was listening to him talk the whole entire time. So like I already knew he was going to be doing it, coming into it. So I mean, I had my headphones in, and they're not noise canceling, so I could still hear him and stuff. But I mean, I was just trying to stay focused and do my thing. And it was funny because one time I heard him say, he said something like, "This is like any other game, man. Come on." And then I was like,
Mhm.
he's right. This is like any other.
So
No,
him
like,
talking
some of the
trash
advice.
kind of helped.
I was like, I don't know if he's talking to me, but I'm pretending like he is.
I liked how you handled it. I think he called a timeout at one point, went down and got a drink, and you're like, all right, I'll take a drink with you. And you just kind of even the playing field. And I think that kind of lowered him back down a little bit where
I pushed them.
yeah, you flipped the script on him.
That's great. Yeah, Cody definitely was getting into people's heads. That's what he does. But what's great about Cody, he's got the great personality for the broadcasts. Like, what do you think about as our sport grows, the importance of having personalities and being able to be interviewed and all of that, and how that might play into your career?
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I think, obviously the people watching the games, you got to have like some kind of personality, or they're going to have to, get into the players in some kind of way to where they're going to get like invested. So, doing interviews or doing other things or like posting on social media, TikTok, stuff like that, it's just going to help people, fall in love with the person, so then that's why they're going to go watch the TV and support instead of just like, oh, I'm just going to go watch cornhole. I mean, a lot of people, they might not, be the most interesting thing to them, but if they like the person or something, then, they'll definitely go watch. So I think that's a huge thing.
So would you invest in something like media training or things like that, like for your career?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it'd be great because honestly, going into the pro season, having nothing, like, they don't tell you anything about how to be an agent, how to market yourself. It's kind of just like, hey, they sent like a little video about, what you could be on like TV or something like that maybe. But, I had to like go around and ask people, if they wanted to play with me. I had to ask people to just give me money. I mean, it was like nothing I've ever done before. I'd never done any interviews really before. So it's like everything's brand new and I have no training at all. So it's kind of
Say for you, it's even harder because you're like, all right, show me your resume. Well, I'm about to start a resume. You're gonna be the first thing on there because I've only been playing like a year.
Yeah,
I had one
exactly.
phone call with someone I never met before, and I was just asking for money, and I was like, even to me, this doesn't even feel like good. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, but the confidence, right? Like you did you have enough confidence to say, yes, I'm a rookie. Yes, I don't have the resume, but I know that I will be a good player for your team and
Oh,
will get TV time.
yeah, no, I mean, I felt like I finished pretty high in the point standings last year. So I mean, I had like, it wasn't like I hadn't done anything. I have some okay wins and stuff like that. So I won the USA doubles and the military forces thing. So that was pretty solid. But I think what was the question again? Sorry.
No, just like, yeah, did you, when you were kind of selling yourself, were you confident that you wouldn't be a 200 finisher?
Yeah, no, I was definitely confident. I mean, I think confidence is a huge thing. I think that's one of the biggest things in playing just the game in cornhole in general is just having confidence in yourself and your throw. But yeah, I mean, I was really confident. I was asking for a pretty good amount. Once I already knew I had one amount, I was asking for like, trying to get as much as I could, basically.
Yeah, you already got your floor. Why not keep going? You could always tell people too, like, all right, I'm the guy that's going to take the full 12 seconds to throw, and I'll stand out that way. So we've kind of touched base on this a little bit, Chris, about how you and Alan adjusted coming from Myrtle Beach, but off the air. But going into the shootout format, is it a little bit different for you than like going to 21 format? Do you try and take your time every single throw, no matter what the situation is, or do you adjust between shootout and regular?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I try to take my time. I feel like I throw better when I do take my time. So like I try not to rush any of my shots. And obviously like once after the Myrtle Beach, it was like came like a big deal, and then
Hmm.
all right, we're like, all right, we definitely gotta well, I mean, I was telling Alan, just take as much time as you want, but we know the time. But for me, I feel like I've definitely sped up my process a lot, but I still like to kind of, get my little rhythm. I like to make sure my grip feels good too. And I don't like to just hold it. I like to give it a little spin and then catch it kind of.
Hmm.
But so once
Yeah, Meesh was not your biggest fan of Myrtle Beach.
Oh
once
my God. That's because it was so late. I'm like, this is never
uh,
going to end.
I did that because it was like New Year's, but then at the same time, I was like, all right, I understand like they want to leave, but like I want to win, and I feel
Right.
I
Oh, yeah, no, you matter more than we do for sure. It was just almost funny at that point. We're like,
yeah.
seriously?
And then, honestly, at one point, I was thinking, okay, if everybody's not liking it, it's making them so worse. Maybe this is a good strategy for me, But then I was like, all right, I'm not trying to get anybody to hate me either. So,
Hey, make them hate away, man. I've physically
Yeah.
seen players play against you where, you're sitting there, you're flipping your bag, and then they look down at the bag, they look over at you, and then they hit a
yeah.
big old, huff and puff, and next thing you know, they miss their next
Yep.
shot, and you score that
Yep.
round. So I mean,
And when I see that, I mean, when you see that and you're playing somebody as a competitor, you're not going to be like, oh, okay, let me change my whole game plan to speed it up to make him feel better.
yeah,
No.
it's a competition.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
yeah, you
like, okay,
can't.
now that I know that, I'm going to I'm going to take all 12 seconds. Who cares?
Yeah, they gave you some crucial information about how to beat
Yeah,
them, which is not
yeah.
ideal for them, but great for you.
I love it. I love it, man. He's here to stay, folks.
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting though, because you think like you said the word rhythm. You almost feel like that wouldn't be in rhythm because it is so slow. But for you, that's a rhythm. That's a rhythm kind of throw for you.
Yeah, it's more like, it's weird. Like, I don't know. Like I try to do almost the same thing every time, but I'm honestly just kind of like, just like flipping the
You're just
bet.
vibing. You're just
Like,
vibing.
almost like I'm counting. It's counting like my flips a little bit and like I do like a little spin. It just kind of helps me like focus and not really think about anything else. And just like instead of my mind wandering, I'm just like doing my thing, locked in, and then I just throw, and it helps me just focus really.
That's a mindfulness practice that you're doing there. That's great. What you wear headphones, right?
I didn't before, but then I just started wearing them recently. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What are you listening to?
Mostly rap. I do it
Nice.
basically go through my playlist, and whenever I hear something I like, I just kind of I've been adding ever since Kansas. I've been adding it to this. And my playlist is literally just called Kansas right now.
Kansas keeps carrying through.
Like J. Cole and stuff like that.
Nice.
But it's weird. Whenever I'm listening to it when I'm playing, I'm really not even like hearing it. It's just kind of like background
Yeah.
noise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a smart strategy, especially because without it, the way that our games are, it's silent. I mean, you're just
So
hearing,
I wasn't
yeah.
so I before, and like while I was playing, I would just be like listening to people's conversations, and then like I just talking about, and like I wouldn't agree, and I'm like, oh, if I'm agreeing what he's saying, I'm like, what am I doing?
Come back to the game. Oh man,
I'm
Chris, this
guilty
has
of
been
that
so
too.
awesome getting to know you. Congratulations on your big win. We're rooting for you, and good luck at the national coming up this weekend.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Proud of you, Bubba. Keep it up,
Absolutely.
man.
Thanks.
All right, let's get into our highlights. You got some good ones for us.
All right, I do. I
I'll
got
let
some
you
fun
drive the
ones.
ship here.
All right, let's go with airmails because there's a lot of them. So we'll just go with the airmails. We'll get into it. Some normal ones, as usual. If you're on the highlight reel, I'd like to get you in there. Elizabeth Tennyson had a strong weekend as well at
Ooh,
Dallas Fort
yes,
Worth.
you did.
These are from Tiverton, though, but that nice little airmail lands short, collects the bag on the left, and that's a clean one there. Huge shot right here from Tanner, getting
Wow.
the 2-for-1. And then another person who's been on fire lately, Connie Altice, defeated Cheyenne twice there. Hasib is always in the thick of it in the seniors division, so
Yep.
everyone's talking about the seniors division basically being Frank Modlin, Jimmy McGuff, and Damon Dennis. I mean, Hasib's right there with them, so he
Yeah.
deserves credit.
I
But this was a
agree.
pretty nice little sequence, actually. There were like 4 good shots in a row there from Peyton and Jeff, or not Jeff, Justin. I want to go back real quick because I love watching the Jeff Reynolds karate kick airmail. Yeah.
Ah, got it. Nailed it.
And then Frank, he's the king of
Oh my
airmail.
god. He's what did he expect him to do? Reach over the other hand in that
I
position?
don't know. I
You
don't
set him
know.
up for failure.
Yeah. There's just something that I love about that 9 o'clock or 3 o'clock position airmail drag where the pros are just hitting that side and getting that bag to
I
flop
know.
over in the
So
hole.
good.
It looks,
So good.
yeah, it's elite. I love watching it. Jake Trzynski's starting to get fired up again for this season. Got a little rodeo here from Fisher
Woo!
Hamilton. So a lot of the people that we're seeing on the highlights here, they pretty much got all the shots. We're seeing airmails, rolls, and strong pushes from all these players. So it even kind of looks like we're just doing a little collage. But that
We need to
match
do an
pissed me off.
we need to
That
do an outfit collage with Tony Smith's clothes.
Oh, you got Tony and Jake now, but that one pissed me off because Tony and Jake were throwing the exact same bags there.
What? Go
Just
back.
just different tint. Hold on, let me see if I can go back and pause. Is this before or after? Here we go.
Oh yeah, no, I noticed this. I was
Yeah,
so confused on this game.
I was so angry, and like they're the two people that just don't care. Like Tony's like, "You never get me on broadcast," blah blah blah. So then we get him on broadcast, and then he's like, "Well, are we gonna play our match?" I was like, "I was holding it to get you on broadcast," and he's like, "I don't know, I just want to get it over with." I'm like, "Oh my
It was a
god,
make up your mind, dude.
yeah." So no pleasing this guy, but Big Tone, he's got all the shots as well.
He also stole my cord too. He didn't give it back. He borrowed it in Miami, he didn't give it back.
Noted. You guys better
I,
stop
I
sleeping on my boy Austin Cameron. Look at this.
oh no,
Peels it.
he had a great weekend that weekend.
Peels it right off the top.
Yeah, it's not even fair.
Must be the jersey.
Must be.
I like this. Like no reaction
Ooh!
right here from Cameron on that 3-bag airmail. Hits one clean. Yeah, I'm fired up. Just
Yeah, I
like
got it.
the one bag will do, but the 3-bag, nah, it is what it is.
No, no big deal.
But I mean, no airmail compares to Kyle Malone's airmails. Right side of the hole, front side of the hole. Doesn't matter where you put that bag. If it's on
He's
the
getting
red
it.
zone, Kyle
He's
Malone is
getting it.
able to drag it in time and time again. I mean, just there's so many of these I can have clipped. I was like,
I
okay,
wonder I
we're
wonder
gonna
what his
get bored at
percentage
4.
is.
Airmail percentage, he's got to be up there. He's
It's
got to
gotta
be up
be.
there. So if
Wow.
we're sitting here talking about, I'm gonna try and put together an airmail only competition at Worlds, and I want to do it where you have only one person for state. So Florida's gonna have to fight over it, but I think I'd probably put my money on Kyle.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
All right, let's head into the rolls. How about
Rolling,
Cheyenne
rolling.
Bumenheim's roll? What?
What? That was definitely not intentional.
It's kind of like the Frank Modlin. Don't call that a roll, but hey, it's in there. It doesn't matter how it goes in.
Oh, is that what she was trying to do right there?
I mean, I don't know. You gonna call her out on it?
I don't know. I'm curious.
It went in, and she looked confident with it, so I'm gonna allow it.
Uh,
But
I
I know
guess.
that Devin Harbaugh's got one of the biggest fanboys out there. I heard Nick Thompson's changing his throw to match Devin Harbaugh, his
Oh
stance.
yeah. Yep.
So,
He has been. He's excited about it. He looks
but
just like you.
if there's one person's game that I'm actually jealous of, it's Devin Harbaugh's.
I know, right?
He's angling the
So good.
bags left, right, cutting, all that type of stuff. And here I like Ryan Smith finds that corner and then coming across the board, Brady matches him. It's the same exact shot back to back.
Back to back.
I like this little roll block, turns it on a shark fin block right in front of the hole there
Yeah,
from
let me
Cameron.
make it harder for you to get in the hole.
Yeah, and then Trey, hey, Mark's not the only one that can roll these snipers.
Yeah, I feel like that's I wasn't expecting that. That's surprising.
You know what? That roll right there from Austin, though, just goes to show these roll bag players now they're finding the gaps, kind of like we used to find airmails. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're now aiming their roll bags to go into certain positions on the board.
exactly. It's the roll bags have taken another leap in terms of what they can do with it.
Yeah, look how much torque Brady has on this release. Hold on.
Oop, oop.
Oh, one more. He just put
Yeah,
so much spin at the
so
end of
much.
it.
That's crazy.
It was very impressive. And then again, just a little roll block there. Fisher, you see the reaction from Tony? He's like, oh,
Yeah.
all right, I'll do that too. So,
I
Tony
like them
learned
apples.
from him. Here's the shot of the week for me, though. This is ridiculous.
What? How do you even think you're gonna do that? How are you thinking you're gonna sneak into the back of the hole like that? Like, what's
This
going
was
on?
after a timeout, so he went down and looked at it. This is a shot he came up with, and he hits it perfectly. Just
I
ridiculous.
mean, that is bananas. I
Yeah,
can't.
that's the roll slot. We're gonna call that one the roll slot.
The roll slot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Like a coin slot, but well, it's like a cut. It's like a cut slot.
Oh man.
Oh,
And
going for
then
pushes.
going with pushes here. Again, I like to leave everybody in there, even if they're not so super spectacular. But one thing I want to note throughout these highlights is that these carpet bag throwers seem to enjoy some slick bags in their hand lately, Mish.
Uh-oh. Is
I'm
it
just
gonna
gonna
take another
throw
trend the other direction?
I'm just gonna throw that out there. I mean, these are hard carpet bag throwers throwing slick side on bags. I'm just saying, Mish.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I mean, I think there's definitely something to it.
I like how a couple of these I'm thinking airmail immediately, and like this one here, I'm thinking the only way to get that
Yeah,
bag is airmail, and then Cameron and Jamie Fincham both showing you can just get it in by the one normal slide shot. So
that's
got a little bar
crazy.
of soap in
Yeah,
for
a
the
little bit.
push. Then Austin
Big push.
hard sticky bag slick side push into that one. Bella hard push there. She might have crossed the line a little bit. I don't know. I don't know.
We're not gonna
No,
talk about it.
there's no
We're
telling.
not gonna go there.
And
It
then
is what
here's
it is.
here's the push of the week. I mean, just ridiculous, able to get that one in around the right
Yeah,
side.
I remember watching that. That was crazy.
Bloop.
Oh, and Frank's bags don't move.
Yeah. This was a phenomenal match here with Brady and
I
Eddie.
mean, yes.
It went 20-20 on the right side of the red zone, on the left side of the red zone. It doesn't
Don't
matter.
matter.
Braden Wilson, Devin Harbaugh able to collect it. And then Jake Trzynski slick side into the pile
Wow.
for the collect. Nasty shot.
So nasty.
I never saw that push coming.
No.
So him going slick side with a cut on it and able to get like a penguin action out of it. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Huge shot right there from Jake.
All right, our favorite.
Our favorite. So right here, this is I'm starting off with this one because do you look at this angle on this bag?
That's crazy.
Tony's bag is like 70% in the hole. Tony's back here just watching. He's already laughing. Like he's
Yeah.
like, this man's trying it. So then he goes in, and then right after the shot, I don't know how much of you can see, but Tony said if he was able to cut that around my bag, I was quitting. He said I would have forfeit the rest of the match right there.
I'm done.
Look at the reaction.
Oh
And
my
then this is
god.
where nothing seems to go your way. Just Kyle Malone, he's got two bags already halfway or more in the hole, hits the pile, nothing falls. Like, what do I got to
Nothing.
do? And then
What
Fisher's like,
else
okay,
do
all
you
I got to
want
do is
from me?
clip my bags. And then, oh, no, now his fall in there too. You got nothing. Hasib
Oh.
with the miss, then starts barking right away through Frank off his rhythm.
What, what the heck?
They just stare at each
Oh,
other.
I
All right, and
know.
then the awkward knuckles where you got to play it off. Like, what's going on here? Like, okay, Cheyenne puts this bag in on the airmail, and then Sissy's like, I wasn't gonna knuckle you. I was just
I,
gonna point.
I was pointing. Hey,
I was just pointing.
hey.
I was just pointing. I wasn't gonna actually knuckle you. And then we got
Good
premature knuckles here, where he thought the game was over. He's like, I'm gonna hold on to these real quick.
job.
He thought he missed the whole game over. I'm bringing that back. Hold on.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
Then we got Stalker Knuckles. I figure I'd start labeling these. Makes it a little bit more fun. Hunter Thorne is the king of Stalker
He's the
Knuckles,
king of stalker knuckles. He's
but
relentless with it.
the youngsters,
Look
not
at me. Look at me. Look at me.
yeah, pay attention to me. And then Landon's like, I will follow you all the way down here, man. And then your boy Ryan Smith on here as well. The dab or shake. Which one are we going for? We have to coordinate this beforehand. Oh, okay.
Just kidding.
Then fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on me again. So again, Frank taking a little bit too long. We got okay. He learned his lesson though. He's not going to go in here. He's just going to let Berkeley take his time, come back. No, not even going up for it. And this one's on Dana though. You can see right there. I feel like her hand moves towards the knuckle and then she pulls it back. And Jeff went in. He just got left hanging. As long as he,
the
this is
whole thing is awkward.
the very next round. he fell for it again. Oh
Oh my
man.
goodness. All right. That was good stuff. All right. We're going to take a quick break and come back with their odds right after this. All right. So we don't always get our odds in time. So super excited that we have them because we got a big tournament this weekend. So let's go ahead and get into it, Wally.
Yeah, I tried pulling up Prize Picks. I can't find anything on Prize Picks just yet. I'm not sure if that's because I'm in Missouri, and I need to go back to Illinois to get those odds or not. But be on the lookout for Prize Picks odds. That's a pretty cool way you can bet on how many bags are in the hole, stuff like that. But let's go ahead and start things off with doubles. Coming in as your top team, we got Matt Guy and Jamie Graham. They're at plus
Mm-mm.
450. You not liking it?
Staying away from that.
Staying away from that. Is that a Matt or a Jamie thing?
Jamie, I haven't seen it from
Yeah,
him.
yeah. I'm not impressed with Jamie so far
Hey,
this
but you
year. I
know
got
what? Not to
all the
jump
faith in the
ahead,
world.
but Hisner Henderson,
Hisner
they're
Henderson at
looking
plus
good.
2,000.
Yeah, they're looking good.
So Mark and Phil plus 500, Alex and Trey plus 600, and then Logan and Justin plus 600. So your overall number one ranked team comes in at plus 600. But again, I kind of like where your head's at, Mish, right there in the middle of the pile. I mean, we
Mm-hmm.
got one of the biggest teams to talk about right now, Devin and Nico at plus 2,000.
I
I
picked them
love
to
what I'm
win.
seeing out of you did.
Mm-hmm.
I got Jimmy and Kyler at plus 2,000 and Jake and Tony at plus 1,200. I like the middle there, and if the odds
Yeah.
being so high, you can kind of play around with whatever you want. My pick, I'm gonna go with Jake and Tony.
Yeah.
So I was gonna brag on this last week, but we didn't have a show last week. My picks have been on fire. Justin Burton Jr. and Logan Chamberlain, Matt Guy, Noah and Jeremy Frazier, Hunter Thorne. I mean, Connie. I've been on fire with it, but the streak comes to an end in Dallas Fort Worth. So hopefully we can get back on track here. I'm
Wah,
taking Jacob
wah,
and Tony.
wah.
Hey, I don't know. Does a
Jacob and
sound
Tony,
effect?
I think, is who Trey picked, if I'm not wrong. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure.
I,
Yeah,
I
let's
do
go
I
back.
do like what we've been seeing lately out of AJ Sims and Jaime Sanchez.
Yeah.
Sitting there at plus 3,500. Noel Mons and Duncan Clement plus 3,500 there. Near the bottom, though, I'm kind of staying away from Derek King and Steven Bernasette until they show me something on the courts. James Baldwin and Jordan Camp have been kind of, letting me down as far as where I want to
Yeah.
see them in the standings. But on the top part, I'm probably going to go with the usual suspects. I'm going to go with Mark and Phil for 5, Jake and Tony there for 12. I do like Adam and Cody for 2,000. And then if we're going to go to page number 2 here, our second page, we're looking for a home run team that you might want to take a big swing at. Anyone out here standing out to you? I mean, for me, it's Matthew Creekiller and Jacob Foreman plus 5,500.
Yeah, and actually, Rosie and Sam have gotten really far in brackets. I know that seems like maybe a stretch to most people, but they're always right there, like at this season at least.
Very impressed
So
with what they're doing, but it doesn't pay out to go very far in brackets, though. You got to pick a winner. Do you think
yeah,
they
I
have
mean,
it in them to take down a whole field?
I mean, I think they could, but I think that you would want to see them maybe win a bracket or get to the broadcast before you have that kind of confidence. I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me because of how good they've been playing. I had a lot of apprehension about Josh Holland and Nate Boyer, but they've also played really well. So
Yeah, I was going to ask if they redeemed themselves for you.
yeah, I think so. And so did Derek Hall and Justin Rule. They played really well. So I'm definitely watching those teams for sure.
Yeah, I talked the last time I think about Justin Stranger. I wasn't impressed with him this season, and I've been pretty impressed with Jeff Reynolds going for the last few opens and stuff like that. But I think Justin's kind of back to where he needs to be. So that could be a pretty good sneaky team down there at the bottom.
All
Let's
right,
go ahead and
let's go into
switch over
singles.
to singles. Take a look at it. They like Justin Burton Jr. to repeat at plus 700, Devin Harbaugh at plus 800, Mark Richards 800, and then Matt Guy at plus 1,200. So
Oh my
um,
goodness. Cheyenne Bubenheim at 4,000. I'm taking that.
China plus 4,000. Well, let's think about the open, or I'm sorry, the first national winners. We had what? Justin Burton Jr., Alan Rawls. Where's Alan Rawls at? Plus 2,800. You obviously can't bet on Gore. And then who was the other one I'm missing? Harbaugh plus 800.
Hmm.
So Alan Rawls being at plus 2,800 winning his bracket, it doesn't seem like he's getting the respect that he deserves.
I guess not, but I think like we don't see a lot of those repeat wins, so it makes sense. But yeah, I mean that one, the Bubenheim one jumped off the page. She's always deep in brackets. I think she can win it.
Hmm.
I'm surprised that's such a high line there, but we got 1 minute to finish up singles, so let's go ahead
Oh,
and go
well,
through
Hunter
these.
Thorne coming there at plus 4,500. Keep an eye on that one. Noel Monza here at plus 5,000. Eddie Grindersleeve, somebody keep an eye on, always there, plus 6,000. Chris Kingsbury plus 7,000 coming off of his shootout victory.
Wow.
That's a name that I would definitely want to take a stab at. Logan Chamberlain there as well, plus 6,000. And then going to the third page, not really anybody here that I want to bet on, but a lot of people that I'm going to keep an eye on. I'm very impressed with Curtis Haddix on the first open, but Berkeley Parrott plus
Berkeley Parrott.
9,000.
I'm done. He played phenomenal this past weekend. I'm putting money on Berkeley Parrott 9,000. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
so you guys can check those out at DraftKings. Good luck this weekend. Obviously, we can't bet, but again, bet only with what you could afford to lose. Keep it at entertainment.
That's right. All right, guys, it's been a blast. Wally, I will see you in a few days. And everybody enjoy all the cornhole this coming weekend.
Here you go.